Very, very brief. And if you're interested in my series on Chanukah, you will be able to start tomorrow. You will get it. Also, those of you who have children, we filmed, I'm really excited about it. We filmed this week a Chanukah special for children in the studio. So actually we filmed 2 weeks ago with Chomp. If you don't know it, we offer a Yeshiva for children now, which I'm really excited about, for the ages for between 5 and 12. And we just finished filming our second series where we teach children the basic of the Hebrew language while we're teaching them Jewish ethics. It's a course in Jewish ethics at the same time. So that's going to go live. And the premise of this is that there is a Jewish kid, Noah, and there is a non-Jewish shark. And the name of the shark is Chomp. And Noah teach Chomp Torah. And now Chomp, in the second season, Chomp is already preparing to make an aliyah to Israel. So he's learning the language now of the Jewish people. And he learned what does it mean to be Jewish inwardly in your heart. What does it mean to have a Jewish heart and Jewish neshama? So I'm really, really excited about this. If you have children or grandchildren, we made it extremely affordable. And I can tell you we already have about 70 kids in this program from all over the world. And some of the kids stealing the iPads of their father just to watch it. So I'm really excited. I think kids are so much more fun than adults. I don't know about you, if you agree with me or not. But tomorrow, if you're interested, if you go to our YouTube channel, there's going to be a special free of charge that we already filmed for Chanukah, to teach your children a little bit about Chanukah. In the next season, what we're doing is we're going to have the kids, all the kids going through the parasha. So Noah and Chomp going through the entire full Torah cycle. Each episode going to be for one Torah portion. So every portion from Genesis all the way to the end of Deuteronomy. So if you're interested in that, you can talk to us and so forth. So I wanted to share with you just something brief about Chanukah that I think is significant for us to think about. You see, I know everybody like in Chanukah to eat our fried food and to talk about the miracle of the one flask that lasted 8 days. And that's where we get what's called the Chanukiah. Chanukiah, to be precise, that sometimes is confused to a menorah. A menorah and a Chanukiah are not the same things. What they had in the temple was a menorah. What we have today is a Chanukiah. Chanukiah have eight, what do you call them? Branches. Menorah have 7, and it wasn't really a shamash like we know it today. Now, the entire idea of lighting a menorah, period, where do you think it's found? Lighting a menorah. Where do you think it's found? It's found in the Torah. It's found in the Torah. The idea of a menorah found in the Torah. Now, we read something very interesting in context to we're in the month of Kislev, Chanukah. Chanukah is in the 25th of Kislev. And it says something interesting. It says, our sages said that in the 25th day of the month of Kislev, think about this. This is Chanukah. Before there was Chanukah, right? You following what I'm telling you? There is no Chanukah. Israel is in the wilderness. And in the 25th day of the Hebrew calendar, or the month of Kislev, the Israelite completed the work of the Mishkan. The tabernacle was completed. Let me say it to you in a simple way. The tabernacle was completed right there in the future date of Chanukah. Amazing. According in the wilderness in Mount Sinai. Now, according to the text of the Torah, Moshe waited for the beginning, the Rosh Chodesh, the new month of Nisan. The work was done in Kislev, and he waited till Nisan. Think about it. We have to go to Tevet, we have to go to Adar, we have to get to what? To Nisan. He waited many, many months although the work is being completed. Okay? The Midrash teaches, the Midrash asks the question, why did it wait so long? Why did it wait? Why? If the work is being done and the Mishkan was built, why did he wait for almost 4 months to inaugurate the temple, the Mishkan? The Malach came to, according to the Midrash, the Malach came to God. It says in the Midrash. And he asked the Lord a question, why? And God gave him the answer why. God is saying to him this. And I quote from the Midrash, I was really contemplating on this. It doesn't make sense. The Mishkan is ready. He says, שעתידים ישראל לעשות חנוכה אחר באותו תאריך. Because in the future, Israel will have another Chanukah. Are you following what I'm telling you? God already knew what is going to happen in Chanukah. Right? He already knew everything. Even when you read at the beginning, Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. If you take those raw words there, and it said there was what? There was darkness, and then there was the toe. If you take the acronym of all of those words, you get four kingdoms. Do you know if you take this verse in Hebrew, you get the name, you get Babel, you get Persia, right? You get Greece, and you get Edom. It's an acronym. God have the time capsule in his hand from the beginning of time. So he said to Moshe, you cannot build the temple, you cannot inaugurate the Mishkan on 25 of Kislev, because this will be the time that the house of the Hashmonaim, right, the Hashmonaim were the warriors, will dedicate on the same day, the 25 of Kislev, many, many years later, they will inaugurate this place, this future temple. Okay, that's why don't do it in this day. Now that's to me as an excuse. But if you read truly in the text, and I encourage you, you read it in the book of Acts, the green light to Israel. If the work truly ended in 25 of Kislev, why would God delay the Geulah? Right? It doesn't make sense. Remember, that's the next step in the redemption of Israel. The next step in the redemption. The inauguration of Aaron as the high priest of Israel, right? It's another step. It's a redemptive step. Why would God hold back the Geulah? A question we need to ask ourselves in Chanukah that I think is so important to ask in Chanukah more than any other time is why does God delay the coming of the Mashiach, right? Yeshua says, I'm coming back soon. He says, I'm coming back quickly. And I'm asking all of us today, isn't 2,000 years enough time for him to come back already? I don't know about you, I'm kind of tired of this. I'm getting a little tired of it. I want Yeshua to return. We have to ask ourselves the question. And the answer is actually found in this Torah portion, in this Torah. Why did God waited to bring the Geulah? It's the same reason he's waiting today. Are you following what I'm saying to you? Well, if you go to the Torah, you're going to notice something very, very important. And here is the question that I want you to ask yourself. When the Mishkan was established, it says that it was a failure. You realize it was a disaster. It says, though, that Moshe Rabbeinu saw their intention. He saw the intention of their hearts, and it says in the end of chapter 39, and he blessed it. He blessed it, although the work was not perfect. And I want to tell you something. It was perfect in the eyes of Moshe, enough to bless it. But the question that we have to ask ourselves today is, if we do the work in a perfection, if we are perfectionist, if the body of Mashiach is perfect in some way, is that enough to bring the Geulah? And shockingly, the answer is no. I want to tell you something, not exactly. Even if we build today the kingdom on a perfect way, we establish and we rectified and we do the tikkunim, all here on the world, it is still not enough because there is one missing ingredient. Look, everything was done. Moshe says, sei gesund, it's perfect, I am blessing it. And then there is a pause of 4 months. Well, why there is this pause for 4 months? Well, you're going to notice, first of all, that in chapter 40, in the day of inauguration of the Mishkan, okay? Exodus 40, the inauguration of the Mishkan, it uses this word from 36 to chapter 40, 28 times. I counted them. Vaya'as, vaya'as, vaya'as. This is an important word. The word gives importance, the word asiyah. It's the doing. Okay, they continue to renovate it. But the asiyah and the doing and preparing and building a synagogue and building a messianic movement is not enough. Okay? The question we need to ask ourselves, what is the very first thing do they do? Look what it says. It says in the text, when the temple, the Mishkan is inaugurated, he says, Bayom achodesh arishon, in the first month, on the first day. What is the first month? Nisan. What is the first day? The first of Nisan. Then, it says, the text says it, Takim et Mishkal Ol Moed. You will raise up the tent of meeting. But wait a second, Moses already said it's already done. So why is the text all of a sudden saying, now you raise it? If something is raised, why do you need to raise it again? Why did the text tell us that it has to be raised again? This is an important question you must ask yourself. You know why? Because the very first thing he's telling us, I want you to notice this, he says in the text, Ve'eveta et amenorah. The very first thing, he said, you want to finally raise it up? Bring up the menorah ve'eleta et nerotea. This is very important in the context of Chanukah. The very first thing they said, you want to raise the Mishkan, you want to see the Geulah, you bring forward the menorah and you put upon it the candles. And after this, I want you to notice what happened. It says, Vehelbashta et Aaron. Then it says, oh, you want to have a Mishkan, you want to see the Geulah, dress up Aaron as the high priest. And we know that's the first time in the text that Aaron is called Mashiach. It's a picture of the Messiah. We all want to dress the Messiah. We all want Yeshua to be the Messiah of Israel. Every single one of us, right? Because he belonged to the house of Israel. Okay? And then he said, Lekeunat olam, for an everlasting priestly. Okay? But Hashem wanted to make sure, this is the important thing. This is important thing. He doesn't tell him just to put a menorah. This is what I want to tell you today. This is why he waited 4 months. He says, I want you to put a menorah, but I want you to put something that is called Ner Tamid, an everlasting light. This is important. Why? Because God wanted to make sure that he took these 4 months to make sure that there is not, that there's a commitment, but their commitment is a commitment to their leaders for the long term. Okay, you following what I'm telling you? Because if something would happen, chas v'chalila, and the menorah would be broken, or there would be no light in the Ner Tamid, Chazal said Israel would be destroyed in a moment. Are you following what I'm telling you? One can be loyal to a place. And notice here something very interesting. Most of the mitzvot that he's telling them is to do something for a place. Torah is divided between 2 types of mitzvot. Between man to the place and between man to his brother. Okay? Now we sometimes think that the commandment between a man to the brother are more important between a man to a place. It's important to me to love my brother, but it's not as important to pray God to God 3 times a day. It's not true. The two actually work together. And that's what you see here in the inauguration of the Mishkan. What you see in the inauguration of the Mishkan is them coming together, and very first thing you do, they do everything. This is a mitzvah to God. It's not a mitzvah to Aaron. But then he says, now you make a commitment to your leader. Make sure that you dress your leader. I remember a recent story that I was sitting in a falafel stand. And I was arguing with a Chabad rabbi about the coming of the Mashiach. And he says the only way that he will be a Mashiach, whoever is the Mashiach, is if we stand and we say he's the Mashiach. He cannot come and say, I'm the Mashiach. We have to say he's the Mashiach. And think about it. Yeshua said, you will not see me until you say, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. In essence, Israel have to dress him up. We have to dress him up. And the way we dressed him up is to make a commitment first to the place. We make a commitment in our mitzvah to Hashem. You see, God has taken 4 months. You see, everything is built up, right? Have you ever had like a very expensive gift that you want to bring to your son or to your daughter? Something valuable. But you think, well, he's not quite ready for this gift. The gift is ready. Have you ever had it? It's happened to me recently with a cell phone. I gave a cell phone to my son. The next day, he lost the cell phone. Did that ever happen to you? That you have a gift that is really valuable. It's so valuable, but you know that the person is not quite ready. So yes, he established the Mishkan on the 25th of Kislev, but he said, but there is something that is missing. The structure is there. The synagogue is there. The Mishkan is there. But there is one ingredient that is missing. And what is missing is the people. The people commitment for their leader. He wanted to make sure that when he put the menorah, here you go, we have the everlasting light. Now we made a commitment to one another. This is the essence of Chanukah. Okay? You can have a great structure in place, but is it going to be supported by the community? That's why Chanukah is a time for us to learn something about commitment. It's a whole story that my grandfather used to tell me. He explained this to me like this. He said, when you light the Chanukiah, and when you light each one of those lights, do you know who you're really lighting? He said, you are lighting your brother. Each one of these candles represent your brother. It represents your fellow man. It represents somebody that is maybe today dimmed, or maybe chas v'chalila, he doesn't have the light at all. Chanukah is the time to go and light each one of them up. Okay? That's what we must really consider in Chanukah. Okay? We must consider in Chanukah that each and every one of us, look at this, 3 things they do. Those are all things that are mundane. You say, what does that have to do with Aaron? But when we are committed to Hashem, here is the way you know that you are committed to Hashem. If you are committed to Hashem, you're going to be committed to dress your brother. And that is why Hashem waited for this time. So Chanukah for us is a time that we should really consider going to a person, maybe somebody in your mishpacha, in your family, maybe a close friend, maybe a distant friend, somebody who's fallen away from the emunah. Yes? And go to them and prepare them, dress them. In that way, you are preparing the heavenly Mishkan. Are you following what I'm saying to you? Yes? It's not just about eating fried food. But you see, he has given you a great gift. The shemen. The shemen. The fried food, the shemen. You know who is called the shemen in Judaism? Joseph. The Messiah is called that. So you have given a great gift. And this great gift is a gift that should light the world around yourself. So use this gift wisely and God is giving us everything. He gave us the greatest gift already. I think the reason Mashiach has not come yet, because he doesn't think we can handle this heavenly Mishkan that is going to come down. So now he's saying, grow up, mature up, get ready, because I want to give you the greatest gift of all, this heavenly Mishkan. And in this, the Geulah will come. The Geulah will come like this. So that's what I have, just a few minutes of this pearl of Chanukah. I don't want to give a full sermon and take the time from the Kalik. So I'll just, no, the Kalik stuff is ready? Yeah, good. So I just will say one thing about the Kaliks, and then I'll turn it to them. They are really, really wonderful. Wonderful in a sense. I tell you what I mean by the word wonderful. There's a lot of wonderful people on the face of the earth, but what makes them wonderful is that you see the struggles, that it is not just for a new immigrant to come into the land of Israel, but also to come to Israel. Not just, so many people come as an immigrants. They come with a sense of entitlement, like you owe them something. Right, they come to Israel, and they came to Israel basically putting everything on the line, and they came to give. And that is great. That's what God wants, somebody who come and he wants to light. I was just thinking about this. So they have a ministry you're going to hear about today, that they are connecting the body of Messiah in Israel from every community on the face of the earth. What at the end of the day we're doing? We're connecting the lights. You have a light. They have a light. You might even know about this. So there's this great Chanukah song that's go like that. This line in the Chanukah song says, Kol echad hu or katan vekulanu or eitan. Each one of us is a tiny light, but together we are a giant fireball. So that's kind of summarized what they're doing. They're connecting tiny lights. You might know some of the major ministries in Israel, but you don't know the work that is being behind the scene to really prepare Israel for the salvation. Okay? So this is really kind of an end-time ministry. Connecting, praying. Because if these ministries in Israel fail, I want to explain to you again, if those things that are done in Israel will fail, that means that the Torah cannot come forth out of Zion, and the word of the Lord cannot come out of Jerusalem. This is the voice. That's it. Those are the voices. So they need to succeed. And they're going to succeed only by people praying, people supporting. So I hope everybody will support this work. Support it not just with words, support it financially. And if you're in Israel, go meet with them. Go meet with some of those ministries. I can tell you, some of those people working, because they are part of our network. And I've seen it, and you cannot imagine some of the conditions that are being met and how much is being done in those conditions. It's quite incredible to see that. And as I say, we're getting ready for a giant gift right now, the body of Messiah and all of Israel. Not just the body of Messiah, it will be for the merit of the entire house of Israel. So I'm thankful for you, for your servitude, for the Messiah, for the Jewish people, for the people of Israel. And for the rest of you, I'm wishing Chag Sameach. May the God of Israel bless you. And let's light somebody else up in this Chag, this great Chag upon us. So